So, guys, since I've already met a lot of you people, a few questions that almost get asked every single time, which is Didi, what books to use, which resources to follow, are the professor's notes enough, or stuffs like how do we score well in the examination? So I thought instead of answering everyone individually, why not just make one detailed video explaining all of those things? Now, before we begin, here's a small disclaimer. I didn't score perfectly in every subject. I've scored an A plus in most of the subjects. I have scored B and B plus in two subjects, and I've also got an arrear. So you're not exactly hearing from someone who has only succeeded, but you're also talking to someone who has scored average as well as even faced failures. And hopefully, by the end of it, you will be able to avoid the mistakes I made. Also, since I come from humanities background, I had humanities in class 11th and 12th. So I completely understand you're from science or a non-commerce background basically. I completely understand your struggles, understand if you feel scared. So this video I'm going to cover every single detail, so stick with me till the very end. Now before we talk subject wise, I want to clear this misconception which I heard from almost every single student that I met, which is everyone studies from the same resources. And the answer to that statement is basically yes and no. The same resource which almost everyone will follow is the professor's notes, if the professor shares them. Some professors don't share notes at all. Some upload them literally a few days before the examination. Some notes are so brief and concise that it is difficult to build concepts and long form answers just merely by using those short summary notes. And some are so lengthy notes that it becomes almost impossible to complete them before the examination. That is why I always recommend that use your professor's notes as a primary source, but at the same time also keep a separate reference book handy. Also, don't make the mistake of studying an entire book. Study only the chapters which are necessary or which are mentioned in your syllabus or which is taught in your class. Trust me, your brain does not need 500 pages, it just needs the right 50 pages. Now, starting strong with your major subject, which is Fundamentals of Management and OB or Organizational Behavior. If you have had psychology in class 11th and 12th, organizational behavior is going to be very easy for you because you are already well aware about topics such as classical conditioning, operant conditioning. These are very simple, very basic, about personalities, and these topics are going to be there in your organizational behavior portion. Things like motivation, personality, leadership, behavior, you will come across these concepts throughout while studying FM and OB. You can also use your psychology knowledge while writing your answers to just enhance the quality of your answers. However, I'm assuming that most of the people watching my video right now did not really have psychology in their class 11th and 12th. If that is the case, then do not panic. The subject is very beginner friendly, and at the same time it is very theoretical, theory heavy. So start studying earlier because theory takes time to settle down in your memory. It will take time to consolidate. Do not leave this subject for the last week, since you will not be able to grasp so many concepts in such a short amount of time. Now for book recommendation, without any doubt, hands down, L.M. Prasad, Principles and Practice of Management. This book is an evergreen book. Almost every management student knows about it. You'll almost always find this book in your college. However, this is such an in-demand book that it is always issued, it is always out of stock, and I was so frustrated in my first semester. Every single time I went to the library, it was out of stock, and it was my major subject, so I had to study it, because of which I ended up purchasing the book. I believe that good business books are investments and not expenses. Again, just a reminder, follow your syllabus. Do not try finishing this entire book. Just look at how, like, don't tell me that you think that you can sit and study this entire book and retain all the information here. Firstly, all the information is not required. Only the portions which are going to come for your syllabus is important. So yeah. this is the book that I used, and I scored something like an A or A plus. So yeah, this is a very good book. I highly recommend it. Coming to the second subject, which is ethics, CSR, and corporate governance. This is another very theory heavy subject. This subject is full of acts, sections, dates, ethical theories, CSR concepts. Like, you will learn about deontology. So make sure that you know these concepts thoroughly. You need to understand the concept. There can be a lot of case based questions that can come from this subject specifically. Tiny details are usually where the students lose marks in this subject. So while studying this subject, prepare short notes for revision only for dates, act, important provisions, and theories. Book recommendation for ethics, CSR, and corporate governance is definitely AC Fernando's Ethics and Corporate Governance book. It's a maroon hardcover book. Again, don't worry about purchasing it. It will easily be available in your college library. Now coming to the third subject, which is business communication. Most students often just assume that it is just English. It can't be that tough. Not really. It's professional communication. Biggest mistake students make trying to be very creative. Now don't get me wrong, English is all about how it's about expressing your ideas, your opinions, being vocal, right? Being able to express your thoughts and ideas. But at least for semester 1, as far as I remember, it was more about the formats that will be given by your professor itself. So you need to stick to the format given by your professor. Do not follow any other formats given in any book or any references whatsoever, because your professor, he is the one who will tell you the exact correct format to follow. So abide by that. Every single time it's a format based grammar paper, it's just free marks. It's just free. You just need to learn the formats and just copy paste the entire format. Yeah, use your brain while writing the other theory parts to it, but still the major chunk scoring portion is the format itself. Yet again, if you want a book recommendation, just merely for practicing some grammar, just in case you really want to have a book with you by your side, then you can follow Renan Martin or KK Sinha. EVS or environmental studies. This subject is going to stay with you for your entire first year, for both the semesters, for your first and your second semester. And please, just please do not underestimate this subject. Do not underestimate the subject. I did, and I regretted it. Our exam was computer based, MCQ pattern. I walked in thinking, how tough can EVS possibly be? Very difficult. Very difficult. Questions came from Kyoto Protocol, Paris Agreement, environmental movements, headquarters, full forms, abbreviations, important dates, numerical data. These factual questions can be surprisingly tricky. For example, let's say whatever the question might be, the options are going to be very close. What do I mean by very close? Let's say the correct option is 1989. So the options that are given could be 1988, 1989, 1987, 1986. Now, even if you know it's 1989, by the time you read the options, you are confused. You just forget. You go blank. So I will suggest that if you know, if you've remembered a certain date or whatever, don't even look at the options. Just remember your date and just look for that date specifically. Do not read the options. You will just get more confused at this point. So yeah, even if you've studied really well, by the time you read the options, you actually forget half of the answers. So this can be very tricky, and people often even fail in this examination, so be very careful. Books for EVS are useful for the static concepts which are there. You can follow Fundamentals of Environmental Studies by Professor Mahua Basu, who is also our college professor. So you can follow her book. It is really good for the static basic EVS which is there. But at the same time, I would always ask you to pay attention to the EVS classes. Do not miss out on your EVS lectures, because there are a lot of dates, a lot of things which keep on changing, and those dates will not be in relation to the dates which were printed in the book, because of course the book is it mostly consists of the static portion, right? But there are a lot of things which keep on changing, new information keep on getting released every single day, every single year. So make sure whenever a new date, especially a date or a new movement or anything is mentioned in class, make sure you are taking immediate class notes. Because of taking EVS lightly, I ended up with a B in my semester 1, and even though I clearly knew that I could have scored much higher, learn from my mistake, okay? Next, moving on to direct taxation. This is the subject I am sure most of the people are actually scared of. This is the daunting subject of our semester, especially for students who are from the non-commerce background, students from humanities or science. You better be prepared for this subject, because this subject is actually going to be very, very difficult, very scary in relation to the other subjects that you have for this semester. Everyone told me that this subject is impossible, and honestly, it is difficult, but at the same time it's more or less very manageable as well. I still managed to score a B plus, while other commerce students were actually struggling with the subject. This is one of those few subjects wherein you will see a lot of people sitting for arrears, because this is a very one of those tough subjects that you will find. The only secret to like surviving this paper is practice. You have to practice a lot. You cannot study direct tax like history. You need to solve questions, attend every lecture, never miss out on classes, and also remember the fact that tax builds chapter by chapter. It's like building blocks, right? So if you miss out on a lecture, you will not be able to understand what's going on in the next class, and that just breaks the momentum. And once you're out of the flow state, it will be very difficult to again get back on track. Book recommendation would be Singhania and Singhania, but at the same time, don't be scared just by looking at the book. It is a gigantic, humongous book, so don't be scared looking at it. Just remember one thing, that you're only going to study the portions that are mentioned in your syllabus and the portions that are actually taught by your professors. That's it. Also, make sure that whenever you're taking a direct tax book reference or whatever you are following, make sure it is of the current assessment year. Tax laws change regularly. Buying an old edition book will just confuse you. Next, we come to IT or information technology. Finally, the subject that actually shattered my years of academic, level that I had created for myself. It shattered all of that, because I got an arrear for the first time in a long while. Was I depressed? Absolutely. When I first saw the IT syllabus, I just thought it's just MS Word, PowerPoint, Excel. How tough can it be? But this is going to be the easiest subject. I was so wrong. Excel itself needs proper practice, and then suddenly we were introduced to SQL. And as someone who had left computer after class 8, I was completely lost. And yes, to answer why did I even end up with an arrear, I did not save my file. I did save it, but like maybe there was some technical error or something, some mistake in between, maybe not saved it in the correct folder, some mistake occurred, because of which I was not given my marks. It was just cancelled. Imagine months of preparation gone just because I forgot to save it correctly. So please always save your work correctly. Get it checked by invigilators like 5-6 times before you leave. I cannot emphasize on this enough. I am still very traumatized by the arrear that I got, and I don't know when will I get over it. If you're someone like me who has had a long gap in computer or IT, then preferably go for some online course coaching, or get hold of any private classes or tuition teachers, any external guidance, because you would not really want to be stuck. It will save you a lot of stress later. Final advice: If I had to leave you with just a few tips, they would be: don't depend only on your professor's notes, start theory earlier, attend direct tax and IT lectures regularly, practice instead of only reading, don't underestimate EVS, buy books only if you will actually use them, or else library is your best friend. And finally, don't compare yourself with your fellow commerce students. Everyone starts somewhere. I came from humanities, I struggled, I made mistakes, I even got an arrear, but I also scored A's and A plus. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any of other tips or doubts to help your fellow batchmates, I guess. And I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye.